Hey YouTubes, how's it going? I just made a video on the difference between the Lightning and Lightning Elite and started talking about how the double springs can make a springy sound when you're deploying your knife. So I thought I would bring this up for further discussion and show you how to fix this. This goes for all knives, not just the Lightning brand. There are many OTF knives that have 2 springs for the operation. And my first video didn't pick up the sound very well, so I'm going to try this again. Pay attention and you'll hear, or you should hear, a springy notes when you deploy. So hopefully you heard that. It's a terrible noise. It's not something you want to hear in your knife, whether it's a $30 knife or a $160+ knife. So to fix this, it's actually very simple. The first thing we're going to do is take the blade out of deployment. So I just use my can that we're going to fix it with, which is just some high temp disc brake wheel bearing grease. Any grease is fine, and I just kind of poke at it. And this takes the blade off track, right? So it's not under pressure from the springs inside. Next, we're going to remove the 6 screws. Once you have the screws just removed, just pull this top cover off. Again, we've taken the blade off track, so there's no pressure. It's not going to spring forward or pop out on you. Take off your plate that the springs are held onto, and it just kind of lifts off. So here's your spring, and the main problem is that when they are being pushed apart and come back together, they hit each other, and that's what makes that ting sound. So we're going to take our grease. Any grease is fine. I just happen to have this around. Put some on your finger and just lightly coat them. You don't need a ton. There's no reason to make it to where it's, soaked in it, just enough to coat. Wipe off your hands. So now the springs have a decent amount of coating on them. Now it's just a matter of putting it back together. So go in reverse order. Put the spring on the plate. Just like so. With the blade off track where it's loose, put the plate in the knife, move it forward a little bit so you know it's going against these spring mechanisms that hold the blade out. Take your trigger, put it in the groove, take your outer plate, line it up. Make sure that the trigger moves freely. And now put the screws back in. It's important to note that when you're putting these screws back in place, you don't need to over tighten them. This is basic aluminum. The majority of OTF knives are aluminum, and you will strip them out if you crank on them. You just need to snug it. They're not going to go anywhere, and if you really want to, you can put some blue Loctite on them if you don't think you're going to open the knife back up for a while. Once you're done, the blade is still off track, but how you fix that is you just pull it outward. You'll hear it lock in place, and then it's back together. So now let's see if what we did fixed that springy sound. Oh, that is so much better. I don't know if my GoPro picks this up or not, but that springy sensation, that sound that comes across when you deploy it is now gone. The springs are hitting each other still, but the grease is stopping the springy action sound. And it's just as smooth as it was. You can fire them all day long. And it has no impact on performance at all. So I hope that trick helped you guys. This goes for all OTFs that are double springed like that. When I buy a new OTF, the first thing I do is take it apart, see if it's double spring, and then do this trick. So Like and subscribe if you like these type of videos, and I hope this was helpful for you. Bye.